Hey, it's Del Jackson. We're back. LL Hoops Zoom. I don't even know what number it is, but we're having fun with the LL coaches. Tonight we got Nate Musselman and we got Andy, of course. Coach, I'll just start with a basic question. Tell us about your background and what's going on over there in Garden Spot.
Well, I tell you, Coach Troop asked me to join his staff when he got the gig at Garden Spot. My goodness, 12 years ago, 13 years ago. I knew Troopy just from growing up together, and he knew from my background, it really wasn't in basketball. I did play basketball in high school. I went and played collegiate football. So he just wanted somebody that he knew loved to compete. And I was just kind of like his, rah-rah guy for his first round there. So, the first couple of years, I really didn't say much. I was the guy who would condition the kids and, get them all moving and motivated. When practice got bad, he just kind of turned me loose on them. And then he came to me about 3 or 4 years in and said, hey, I really want you to start to learn and have more input into the games and into the scheme that we're doing, because it was too much for him on the sideline to coach the offense, coach the defense, and all those things. So he wanted me to kind of grab the horns of the offense. So I took that under my belt and started to do that with him. And I'd call the offense, the inbound plays during the games for the past, 5 to 7 years with him on the sideline. And then he kind of came in with his plans when he had his 2 daughters that he was going to maybe start to move away, and said, hey, if I time it up, maybe you'd be willing to, take the reins from us and keep the program where it's been. Because we all, we had a lot of invested time in it all together, Marsh included, Marsh Osner. And, I tell you what, Marsh and I talked about it, and I went and interviewed, and, the school felt the same way with the, keeping the consistency of the message.
Oh man, we lost him, Andy. Andy, we lost him. There we go. All right. We had some internet click, 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 click type of stuff.
Hey, we're going through some major storms here too. So
oh man. No, it was good. We got the idea. So here I am. I didn't know you had a football background. So now when I go and see your guys and you're like, you're all like, let's go. I'll understand a little bit more than I have in the past. So
good. There we go.
That's good stuff. So basically you came up through the Garden Spot, through the varsity program. You were sitting on the bench. You're kind of learning as you go. I'll ask one more question. I'll turn it over to Andy. So I know I've been in as assistant and a head coach. It's like, all right, give us a little bit. Like you were sitting on the left there, and now you get to patrol the sidelines. What's the biggest adjustment? And I know you've been at it for a couple of years, but what's your biggest adjustment from being an assistant coach to being the lead dog?
Oh my, that's a good question. The full accountability now, to the players, to the parents, to the school, to the coaching staff. That's probably the biggest leap forward for me. The other thing I commend Coach Troop with is, during our off season, when he was the head coach, he encouraged myself and Marsh to take the reins and be the head coaches for the our spring leagues or summer leagues and things like that. So I got experience on the sideline doing that with our kids. I know they weren't live Bulls and LL games, but it certainly got me used to it to move into this position. But I just think that the biggest change for me, because we were all highly involved with Coach Troop, but was just being the sole leader of hey, I'm accountable for things that go on in my program. And just being the face of that. So I think, I don't know how that hoops answers your question, but that's kind of what it is.
That's good. It's a nice transition. All right, I'm going to turn it over to Andy for a while, and he says he wants all the questions, or at least the caboose. So we're going to give him some time here, and I'll watch. And sometimes I can't help myself. I'm like, from a coach's standpoint, what do you think it is? So
okay,
he'll hit you from the media and the player standpoint. All right, Andy, you're on, Bubba.
Yeah, just give me the last one. I got a good mic drop for him at the very hey, Coach, I'm just curious. Obviously, we're all shutting down here. I mean, how have you really stayed in touch with your team? And more importantly, have you been hooping at all, or how have you been handling that personally?
First, get the personal one out of the way. No, I hoop with my son in our backyard, and that's about all I get. So that's it. I miss it. I miss playing with you. But then for the team, I tell you, we have a home hoops. It's called. It's our team text group. It's basically all our upperclassmen down to our incoming freshmen this year. And I know these kids are zoomed out with school, and that's how they get together. But, you know, we do a Zoom meeting every once in a while. We hit them with our text group. We send motivational quotes out. In the beginning of all this, I actually reached out to Coach Chris Christensen from Warwick. He and I spoke a lot about, hey, you know, what can we do here? And just as two head coaches stuck in this quarantine together, you know, trying to figure our way through it. We were doing some dribble up things. It's an app where you can do dribble up. We were doing those as inviting kids in to do dribble ups from home at night. We had, you know, 6 to 6:30, and then maybe a 7 to 7:30 slot. See how many kids we can get to do a dribble up, which is a dribbling program. And then Coach Christian introduced me to this Pure Sweat app, which we started to do that with our kids. So they work in this app all week long, and every Sunday night they give us a summary of how many sweat points they get. And then the winner each week gets a kind of an award from the Booster Club to try to keep these kids motivated to stay into basketball right now. We're excited to hopefully after June 3rd we can get back with these kids. But that's all we're doing. Now the other thing was I talked to a bunch of the coaches and actually reached out to Tim from Lebanon, Coach Kalasis out at Extra Catholic, just said, hey, you know, with the summer leagues canceling and the team camps canceling, you know, up at guard spot, if our gyms were going to be open and not under construction, you know, we're able to host, you know, 5 games a night. Should we do a big shootout for the end of July, beginning of August before football things get rolling, just try to get these kids, you know, playing? And Tim sent an email out to all the coaches, and, you know, we got like a unanimous yes, we would come play. So that's kind of in the works. I got to check with our facilities guy up here to make sure we can host something like that. I also spoke with the director of the AFBE about, you know, just trying to get these kids to play before November. You know, I'm very concerned about injury. You know, obviously level of play. You know, my first game to be 8 to 10 because no one's touched basketball in 9 months. This is the longest break I think anybody's ever had from hoops. So that's what the goal is, man. We're just, you know, and we're open to anything. Like I said, I'm really grateful that the coaches in the Yellow League are open to be reached out to and say, hey, let's bounce an idea off here. And you know, I even reached out to Troopy. He was like, hey, we'll bring Wilson down. You know, I mean, just anything to benefit the kids to play.
Yeah. No, I kind of heard some of the underground rumors about that showcase thing, and all I ask is just leave that door open a slip so I can come in if I want to come. But
you got it, buddy, no problem.
but the other thing is too, just keep that question in mind that I asked you about hooping. I'm going to get back to that later. That's what we like to call it.
All right.
But no, seriously, for me, I think you could honestly make the argument that Garden Spot over the last couple of years is really one of the more interesting case studies in the entire league. Because let's start off with the most important thing, winning. You've been able to do that. You've won at the league level, the district level, because you've had success in that tournament. You've gone on to states, which I'm sure you remember. I was down there at PW with you last year.
Yes. Yep.
Busters. But while you've been able to maintain a high level of success, you guys have really undergone this almost radical and dramatic roster overhaul. I mean, the last couple of years of troops, 10 year into your first couple, you guys were super guard heavy. And I mean, tiny guard too. I mean, Brendan, Cam, Jacob, Tay, Shu, all those guys, that core nucleus that, you know, led me to call you guys the Garden Swag Spartans. I'm sure you remember that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you had Big Z in that mix the whole time, and he was always tall, but he became big last year because everything funneled through him. I mean, you've been in your own little Garden Spot bubble, understandably so, but have you even taken a step back to say, whoa, I know this is high school hoops and things are constantly changing, but, you know, we've really gone through a pretty mega metamorphosis here, going from tiny to big to the different styles of play you have to play to, you know, make those conducive for success.
Yeah, it was certainly an eye-opening experience for us. You know, Marsh said to me before the season last year, he said, you know, we'll defend, but he goes, I just have this feeling that we might struggle to score a little bit. And, you know, as great as Andrew is and was in his senior year last year, you know, we did struggle to score. We just look at the facts. You know, our per game average was way down, but we still defended. And that is the one thing at Garden Spot that we have really driven home, is that we're going to defend the floor hard. And I give these kids a lot of credit. I know it's not the season they wanted for their senior year, you know, ended up 7-15, I believe it was. But I believe we lost nine games or 10 games by 9 points or less, or 9 games by 10 points or less, whatever it was. we were in a lot of games. We just couldn't score the hoops. I mean, we went up to Columbia, and Columbia was fantastic last year, and we lost in it was overtime or double overtime up there. I think it was overtime, but we shot 16 of 61 from the floor. I mean, you just, I gave our kids credit, the fact that they even went back and played defense again, that they had the heart to go back and keep playing defense when a lot of people, when you play basketball and you don't score, they give up on the defensive end of the floor. And it takes the ball to go through the hoop to want to go play defense. So that's been our big change there, Andy, because you're right. We had Jordan. We had kids that could absolutely fill it up from the guard spot, over the past couple of years, and it was a change for us. So we'll see what happens next year with some of the guards we have come back. Hopefully we're healthy next year with some other our key guys getting back, like Joe Sharp and things like that. But, we're going to defend. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah. The other thing, too, that makes you guys unique is literally your school itself and your size. And I don't know how many of these you've seen, but I think it was Coach George. I prefaced the question for him by basically going through every one of the 5 sections and basically telling him what I thought the narrative, I guess, was behind each one of them. And I think it was section 2, but you could easily apply it to 3 as well. You guys are kind of that hodgepodge of what I call the amoeba schools, right? So, like, no matter how they would slice it in any given year, you could have 3 going to 2, 2 to 3, 1 to 2, 2 to 1. So, like, you kind of have that hodgepodge. And since you've been at Spot, you guys have run the gamut. You've interacted with section 1 all the way down to section, said with Columbia, and you guys are right smack in the middle there at section 3. I guess my question to you is, in a quote unquote normal Garden Spot year, let's exclude the 2 extremes, like a team that would be a shoe in for states and one that might struggle to win a few games, and having that vast interaction with the entire league. Do you think you guys are currently at a position to succeed with where you're at, or if the tectonic plates of realignment, if you will, were to shake, would you be opposed to going up or down, or how do you kind of make sense of your neighborhood right now? Great.
No, I wouldn't care. Put us wherever. We're going to compete. I wouldn't care. I question sometimes the count of our kids, put us up 5A versus 4A school, because everyone says, oh, you're a big school, but we're not. Walk around the schools, the halls of guards, but we're not that big of a school. But you know what? It doesn't matter to me. Put us wherever, and we'll compete.
Yep. Something else I wanted to ask you, kind of off topic, but kind of not. It's about your guys' venue. And I promise I'm not going to make any jokes about how you need binoculars, even if you have to sit in the front row. Sorry, I had to get one in. I had to get one. I had to. But no, in all seriousness, it's really cool what you guys do. I wish a lot of other schools around here would do it. You guys you've been more than open with opening up your doors to like league competition, districts, states the last couple of years. I know at Burke's LL Festival one Saturday in January from sun up to sundown, basically. Yep. I'm curious, why does the higher up at guard? Why do the higher ups at guard spot really feel the desire, if you will, to open your guys' doors to outside competition? And the second part of that is, since you are the actual basketball coach at Garden Spot, do you guys see any sort of kickbacks with that sort of stuff, such as maybe meeting some of those dead presidents that show up at the gate, or how does that?
Yeah, you know what? Yes, that's a great question. I mean, I think the higher ups have the whole intention of, you build this gym the way that it is, then we can then down the road, create revenue for the school, because we do host a lot of district, state games, LLE games, and yes, now we don't get the gate Benjamins, but we do get the snack food. So whether it be the boys' side or the girls' side, where whoever's running the snack stand that night and manning the security around that night, those are the booster clubs that get the benefit from that. So it is a very good help for us. We try to raise a lot of money for our boys that they get to walk around with like your shirt, Jordan gear, Jordan backpacks, Nike things. We want it to be, when you're on Garden Spot's basketball team, steal a word from you, that we do have a lot of swag. That's what we want for our kids. So I'm grateful they have that gym up there. The good thing is they're looking at some renovation. Everybody says the new gym. That thing's 20 years old. It's not new anymore. It needs attention, and I do believe that they're going to give it some here with this whole construction phase they're doing, which is fantastic news. And it could be, with the right upgrades, one of the better gyms in the league.
Yeah, and like I said, there's a few schools in the league that already do kind of the thing that you guys do with opening up your doors. There's a few more I wish would. I know there's a new administration in the athletic department at Calico, and that's going to be my new pet project. Like, we had to graduate from high school with the senior project. This is now my new senior project. I'm trying to get outside competition in there because, I mean, in all seriousness, it's for them, it's a new gym. And I mean, for districts and states, you know how it is, especially that first weekend of states, we all pledge allegiance to the PA Turnpike. And
Oh yeah.
much better than literally one of those 30 or 40 exits right along with it, new gym. So I'm trying to get the bug in their ears. So if that succeeds, I'd like to think maybe I have some sort of a effect with that. But
Hey,
if anybody,
we love the Calico gym over there. We love setting those guys down. It's fantastic.
I know you do. But yeah, if any other schools want to do that, I'd be more than happy to write a thesis for you or something, or we'll get that.
Okay.
But no, seriously, again, we've been talking a lot of big picture stuff. I want to go micro with you here real quick. Obviously the eyeballs are always and forever going to go to Section 1. That's the way it always is. But I think this year coming up, Section 3 is going to be what I think Section 4 was last year, where you're going to have a lot of good teams that, maybe not a lot of people know all that much about, but it's going to be super competitive. And I haven't been shy. I'm not going to be shy with you. I think it's kind of a Calico and Central race right now. So the floor is yours. Tell me why people like you might be wrong if we're sleeping on Garden Spot this year.
Oh no, I don't think they're wrong. I think it absolutely goes through for Calico and Central this year. We know we got our work cut out for us. I think they know that we're not going to just lay over, but that's where it goes. And by the way, as much as we favor those two schools, what you're saying, someone has to beat the King first, and no one has knocked LS off yet.
Right.
In the second round. So, let's not forget about that group down there in Lampeter, Strasburg either. So, I mean, for us at Garden Spot, Section 3, we would look at, we got to survive every week when we get in the league play down there. So that's our main goal. Yeah, we have goals and we set them, and yeah, we want to win the section title. We'd lie to tell you if that wasn't our goal. We're not out there just to compete with people. We want to win. And that's the standard we'd like to get our program to. I would as well. But, we're also realistic. We see the other teams, what they have coming back, and, we're proud to go compete against those guys. Charlie over there at Manheim, and of course Seth. He is a heck of a senior guard coming back next year. So it's going to be interesting next year. But like I said, we're going to defend you. If we can hang around, just get that ball through a little more, 3-4 more times a game. We'll see what happens.
Boss man, he's all yours. Like I said, just give me the last one.
Oh man, I every time we talk Section 3, I think LS, and then I want to ask the coach. I was like, all right, you think the Pioneers will be shooting some threes this year? Just the thought. Every year it's like they're averaging 10 makes a game. I'm like, oh my gosh, you spread them out, and then all of a sudden the Beers kid goes down the middle. Now, it's been a while since they haven't had a Beers there, so we'll have to get the coach on here and have him tell us about his philosophy. So let's go into philosophy of yours a little bit. I saw you guys play this year. You had a big guy. And you weren't bashful about shooting a three. I don't know how many threes you made, but it seemed like you had the go-ahead on a lot of kids to go ahead and shoot the three.
Well, we didn't make a lot. We saw it, but
that's the difference between those 9 games that you were telling me. You got to make 3 more threes, or 2, or 1 a game. That's all.
Yeah, but I tell you, there's no way I would ever tell a kid not to shoot a shot. That's not how we coach. If you're on the floor, you have the green light and shoot the ball, and know that the coaches have your back. Yes, in film we can talk about shot selection and things like that, but you're never going to shoot a shot and have to look over your shoulder at the coaching staff when you play for us. So whether they're open or not in those threes, obviously, we fire them up there. So hopefully next year, we kind of institute a shooting drill through the summer. See, we can't get a lot of shots up this summer with all these boys to get our percentages up to help our defensive side. So, like you just said, hit three more of those threes. I think a lot of our fortunes would change.
Yeah. How about let's talk. I'm always interested in a program aspect, like an elementary. Some elementaries have the strong rec, and it's kind of separate from the high school, and sometimes the high school coach, depending on where he works and how he gets around, can't go into the junior high and can't get into the elementary. So how is Garden Spot set up as far as program from the youth all the way up to you guys?
Yeah, that's actually a great question. That's the one thing we have focused tremendously on in the past 2 years. We have a travel league boys team. We have when we did this 2 years ago, I think we had 40 kids come to our tryout. We recruited heavily down through our elementary schools, and we had 92 kids show up at our tryout this past year. We had the most travel league teams entered for Garden Spot ever. Next year, I'd like to get 2 6th grade teams and 2 5th grade teams in. We even extended to the girls' side. There's nothing more important, I feel, in a program than the youth. Now, I am heavily involved in it because I have a 5th grade son. So, I am involved in it. That 5th grade team went 15-2 this year. They were awfully good. They won the section. So, we are heavily invested. Not only myself, Marsh goes down. We have the dads that we want that help coach. They've been there. They know our program. They know our offense. Our kids run our same offense. They talk about our same lingo on defense. So the time they get up to us at the varsity level, I'm not teaching X's and O's anymore. We can teach more philosophy things and how we want to play. And I hope that this being a staple of our program, having this youth program be so strong, will eventually start to fill through. Our first travel league team was our 7th grade team this year. So I'm anxious to see, and that was when Troop was with us. So I'm anxious to see how that group transitions through as they come up to be, 8th, 9th, 10th graders as we go. But we are heavily involved in that area. So.
Yeah. How about your junior high staff, number of coaches, the teams? Like some of the 4s and 5s they have a 7th, 8th grade combined, or they don't have a 7th grade team. How does that work with you guys?
Yeah, just to kind of go hand in hand with our youth program, when we have our numbers up in the youth program, we've continually had a 7th grade team, an 8th grade team, and a 9th grade team. And I think it's called like varsity JV, then 7th or whatever the last, whatever that is. But to me, it's the 9th grade, 8th grade, 7th grade teams. We have 3 coaches for every one of them. 2 of those coaches are our 7th grade coach is a 7th grade teacher. Our 8th grade coach is an 8th grade teacher. They know those kids in and out of the hallways. We kind of strategically pick those guys so they can even, recruit kids in the hallways at that young age. And then we have Leo Ward as our 9th grade coach, and Leo's coached so many years. He's forgotten more about basketball than I'll ever know. So, I'm very, I feel very strongly about where our junior program is.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Andy, back to you, brother.
All right. I've been waiting on this one for a long time. So I think, with all due respect, we've been lobbing you a bunch of softballs tonight. And Muss, I love you, but I got to get you in a little bit of trouble here tonight. So,
Sure.
So you said earlier that we have played together, which I can verify that is a true fact. And
Sure.
For the audience, like everyone to know, he's still got it. He can still play. He can still get up and down. He can, embarrass me. That's for sure. So here's the deal. Here's what I need from you. Okay. I need 5. I don't need a whole team. I don't want any 6 men. I don't want any role players. I need the 5 names of the current LL coaches that you want in your hooping starting 5.
Mm.
And you can't put Marsh in there either, because that wouldn't be fair. He'd be the best one anyway. We know that. So
I have to pick him. Oh my gosh.
Hey, Andy, can he do assistants?
Can I go assistant?
Can he do assistants or not? No assistants?
No, I need the CEOs. This is the big boys.
Okay, the big boys. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Oh my goodness.
That's a great question, man.
Well, I tell you, I know the skipper over there at Henfield can play. I know he can. I know Mr. Wall can absolutely play. So I would pick him. Oh my!
This isn't so fun, is it?
No, I'd probably go with I'd probably go with. Oh my goodness! I'm just trying to run all through my head here. Are they in the shape they're in today?
Yeah,
today.
Yeah,
today.
Right now.
Oh man!
Current coaches. Current. You can't have We's out. Sanchez is out. He's not current anymore.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry for that dude. You can't pick him.
Oh my goodness gracious. Well, man, if I'm gonna need a big guy, I'm gonna have Gene in the middle. I'm putting Gene in the middle.
Oh, Big Gene. All right.
I'm
He'll
gonna
like
put him
that.
in the middle.
All right.
I'm gonna put him in the middle. I'll probably put, oh my goodness, probably Coach Ramos, probably put him at point guard.
Oh, okay, good.
Seth, I'd put Coach Sigmund at shooting guard. Probably put Coach Christensen at the 3. And now I need a 4.
Well, you got 5 already. I wrote them down.
I got 5? I got 5. Good, I'm out.
If you got Danny in there, if Danny's one of them, that's 5.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot about Danny. You're right. Yeah, we're going to go guard heavy, everybody around Gene. That's how we're going to play.
You better play like 2-3 zone or something to put Gene, or press and put Gene in the back, to take it.
That's right. We'll go 2-3. That's what we'll do.
Yeah. That's a good move. Oh, Andy.
Thanks, Andy. I appreciate it, buddy.
You got Coach all red. Look at that. He's all red.
Oh,
That's
man.
bad.
I tell you what, that question's easier if you let me go to assistant coaches, because I know there's a heck of one over there at Donegal. I know there's one at the bench at Manheim Township. I got one on my bench. I mean,
Oh, yeah. What do you say?
I think the assistant coaches would wipe us up.
What do you need? We need more bigs as head coaches is what you're saying. We need those 6'7" guys as head coaches. You got to work their way up here a little bit. That's awesome. Oh, Andy, that's a great question. Hey, Andy, you got to ask about the tunes, dude. You got to. You've laid into that before. Pre-game tunes up at the spot.
Oh.
So, who's in charge of that? Because whoever it is, I got to give them 2 thumbs up. I mean, if we're going to keep doing Motown's greatest hits, we're doing some Temptations, some Marvin Gaye. I mean, that's all good for me, but who's in charge of that? And whose idea was that? Because that's been going on since I was in school. That like a Iowa football, paint the locker rooms pink to psych you out. I mean, what goes into that? There's some sort of method to that madness. I know it.
Yeah, I mean, I tell you, we're passionate about our music up here for the kids, And this year we had Keith Blackwell. He's actually my pastor, but Keith's also a teacher at the school. And he's our announcer for our games, and he has a little mix master thing he does there. And I mean, with the Rocky theme that they get going, and they get the Bulls intro theme where our kids get. I mean, I've had many referees come over to me and say, just kind of lean in and say, "Hey, this is by far the best intro music, to the beginning of any of the games in the county." So at least we got that going for us. But the problem is the music's so good, it gets the other team pumped up too.
Oh man,
I got I can send your way too. Just something to meditate, everybody. I can do that for you. I can do you a solid.
That'd be great, man. Send me a playlist over so that you can bring it over when you come back down here and shoot some hoops with again, buddy.
I mean,
you got it, bro.
They put in stuff during the timeouts, and it makes things go a lot faster there. I know that. I enjoy coming over to Spot. The fans are good. Your AD's awesome. He treats us so nice when we go over there, and I try to give him a T-shirt so he can give away to the kids. And last time he said, "Where's my T-shirt?" I said, "We're still in the print shop, dude. So next year when I come over, we get 2. Maybe your choice of colors too. We got gray, black, white. It's like maybe.
Hey,
maybe we'll have pink.
I'm in on that, buddy. I know we at the Christmas tournament 2 years ago when I won my first shirt from you. It was a white one. So now I gotta get that. I gotta get that next elusive win, so you can give me one of them black ones.
Okay, that's cool. We really like the we love to talk to you guys after the games and stuff. And I asked Coach Christensen this the other day. Maybe you can help us out. We've done the LLs twice on the live stream. We haven't been to your gym live streaming, but I think that's a possibility down the road. We have a good relationship with you guys. But the question I have is, do you think people be willing to pay for play, like a $5 to watch the LL finals on LLhoops.com? In other words, it wouldn't be free. They could sign in, pay $5. They'd have it for a month, and that would be it. What do you think?
I 1,000% think people would do that. Okay. Absolutely. I think it is a great idea. We got to find a way to get more of these games streamed. It's kind of the way everything's going, and I absolutely think people would pay to do that, 100%.
Okay, all right, because we have to pay some fees to get into to get into the leagues, and we've been debating it. I mean, last year we had 2,700 hits on the boys final. We did the girls as well, and that was the first time we did that. So we're kind of playing with it. I mean, I don't want to cut it off to people, but you know, we got to kind of figure out how it would work. I know as a fan, I would do that, but you know, we've been asking people.
Hey, you put Mr. Sherwood on there, people will flock to that station.
Oh,
don't you worry about it, buddy.
Was he not awesome on that? I mean, he was great. He was like, I'm like, oh, I had to turn the volume down. The guys turned the volume down. I'm listening to the thing. He got so excited, you know. I mean, he had his sweater on. He was ready to coach, I'm sure. But we were on the upper deck, so he couldn't get down there on the floor and, you know, pat guys and high five guys. So it's all.
Hey, here's a little insider. I've been recruiting him hard for the past 10 years to come coach with us. You know, I love Chris to death.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that works out.
Yeah. I had ties with him back at Palmyra, if you can believe it or not.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, with Coach Berman, and there's some big ties there for the timeouts and Gaffey, and you know at one time Gaffey's dad, Bill Gaffey, called me up when I was at Penn Manor. He said, "Hey, I need a job for my son." So I mean, it's like it's so you know, I'm like, no, I need a job from him. Not the other way around. Oh man! All right, Andy, we're gonna wrap. Anything else you got for Coach? This has been fun. You got your garden spot gear on. He's got family on. I got my LL T-shirt, at least one color. I got white. So, Coach, remind me, Andy, Coach wants a gray one next year, you know. But he's got to win. That's the key. I mean, if I come, he got to win. So let's work. The way we do the streaming games, Coach, is Andy and I will sit down in the beginning of the year and we'll kind of pick out some games from each section. So, just asking you. Who, if we choose you, who would you like us to stream on your floor this year?
Any of our Section 3 games. Any of them.
Any of the Section 3 games?
Any of them would be fantastic. Absolutely.
All right. We'll work on that. I'm not making promises, you know. I think money's going to be a bear this year as far as getting sponsors, but I think we'll be okay. I really do. I mean, we get support from the boosters, from some of the schools, and that's very, very helpful. And we have some people that are willing to help us. You know, we need a couple more, but
I tell you what, Del, if you need that, you know, and you're right, I completely agree that, you know, we were hit pretty hard with, you know, obviously the fundraisers that we weren't able to do this year, but we've always been in a pretty good position with our fundraising that we've done, especially starting how Ryan started it, and then we kind of took it from there. So if you need anything for LL Hoops, please reach out to me. I'm sure we can get with our club president and get you guys help too.
Cool. Well, if we do a game there, we'll give you some audio, and your boosters, your kids can shoot a video, and you know, we can get Andy and you playing one-on-one, whatever you want to do. We're all.
Oh yes, absolutely.
No, we're not. That's pay-per-view. That's pay-per-view.
Hey, thank you so much. It's June. We still don't know what the heck's going on for next year for the football guys, and it's just. You know, stuff on TV, it's just kind of a weird time. And we really appreciate you coming on with us and sharing a little bit about Garden Spot and yourself. And you know, it's a little light, and I kind of like that as well. Thank you so much. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Coach. We'll get this up pretty quick. And, you know, hopefully we'll see you in December.
I would love it. See you guys soon. Thank you guys so much. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.